Small things can make a big difference on your cruise, including your stateroom attendant. So I always ask my cruise ship cabin attendant for 4 things on every cruise, and I think it really makes a big difference. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. One of the things I try to do on the first day of the cruise is to meet my stateroom attendant so I can start things off on the right note. They're the crew member you're probably going to interact the most with on any cruise, and I really think how your cabin is attended to really matters. No matter if you're staying in a small cabin or a palatial suite, it's really important to ensure that you're happy with the experience. So any cruise I go on, when I meet my attendant, I ask for 4 important things. Sometimes there's more. I think these 4 can be the most crucial. We'll start off with number 1, and that is how I pronounce their name. Now, this sounds like a really minor thing, but personally, I really hate awkward interactions. And in my early cruising career, I was too embarrassed to ask a crew member how to say their name. And then for the rest of the cruise, just being awkward. It's like, hey, you. Crew members come around from all over the world. And most of the names are easy enough to know how to say without asking. But occasionally, there are some that are difficult to know how to say it properly. And I always hate doing the typical American thing, like if their name is Jorge, you call them George because we can't be bothered to say their name properly. I mean, it's their name. I would want someone to say my name properly, not call me Mark or Mike or anything like that. Even if the name appears like I know how to say it, they may say it differently, or they may have a nickname they prefer to go by. I'll usually greet them, and the first thing I'll ask is how I pronounce their name, repeating it out loud to avoid the embarrassment of admitting I still don't know how to say it later on. Number 2 is to have my room cleaned at night. Ever since Royal Caribbean cut twice a day cabin service, there's been a debate as to when you should have your room cleaned. Of course, you have the choice of having your cabin attended to either in the morning or in the evening if you're staying in a balcony or lower. If you're in your junior suite, you get it both times of the day, so no decision to be made. Personally, I think it's way better to have it clean in the evening so my room is nice and prepared for when I return in the evening to go to bed. I've tried morning service too, but I find I feel rushed to get out of the cabin in the morning so my cabin attendant can tidy up. Since I work on a cruise ship, the morning is usually the busiest time of the day for me. In addition, I prefer to have my bed made up before I go to bed. There's always a good chance I'd take a nap during the daytime, and then the sheets are all messed up again before I go to sleep at night. I know, first world problem stuff. Most importantly, I just think it's more convenient to have them clean the room in the evening because I'm almost always out and about, around the ship, at dinner, at a show, at a bar, wherever. Whereas in the morning, maybe you want to sleep in. Maybe you want to spend some time working in the room, enjoying time on your balcony because the sun is shining. These are situations where, you can get in the way. Now, the cabin attendants are fairly flexible for when they'll come. It's not like they stop by once and then never again. But, if you take your time, it might impact it. And when you miss a cleaning for the day, it really does add up. I just don't enjoy it as much. So evening for me is the way to go. Number 3 is I'll always ask for extra towels in the bathroom. When I cruise with my family, having extra bath towels is a must-do. By default, there's only 2 shower towels in the cabin, and that's fine for a solo traveler, but 2 towels is not going to last 24 hours when someone is washing their hair too, especially in my family. So what we'll do is ask for more towels up front to ensure we don't run out later, and then there's no arguments among the kids of who hogged up all the towels. It's a real fight in our family. So yeah, always ask for more towels. Don't be shy about that. I also wanted to add one thing I'll never ask my stateroom attendant to do. We'll get to that in just a minute. But number 4 on my list is opening the connecting doors. I think one of the best family cruise ships out there is to book 2 connecting cabins. 2 rooms instead of 1 room provide separation for the kids, adds an extra bathroom, and lots of living space as well. Plus, it's probably cheaper than a suite. A lot of families, when they approach Royal Caribbean Cruise, assume, everybody's going to stay in the same room. And when you're talking about 4 people, 5 people, 6 people, they look immediately to suites because they think, we want to have bedrooms for everybody or bathrooms for everybody, right? So they automatically default to suites because that's basically what you got. But in reality, getting 2 connecting cabins is one of the best deals out there because it's going to give you way more space, way more value, and separation. Now, it's usually the case that when you have 2 connecting cabins, the connecting door between both rooms is not unlocked. When at least you get into the cabin anyway. So you'll need to ask your stateroom attendant to unlock it. Occasionally, they remember to do this on their own, but 9 out of 10 times, you've got to ask them to do that. In addition, if you book connecting balcony rooms, then ask for the balcony divider to be unlocked. Not all balcony dividers can be unlocked. It depends on the ship you're sailing on. But in my experience, all the new ships have this. It's really just a couple of the old ships that you can't do this on. Some of the older Voyager class ships as an example. But nonetheless, you should definitely have these unlocked and do it early on. Don't wait till halfway through the cruise and be whatever. But the thing I'll never ask my cabin attendant to do is anything beyond their normal duties. In coming up with this list, I thought about the things that were absolutely crucial, and I reviewed some things that people have recommended otherwise. But there are some things, just like when it goes beyond what the cabin attendant is truly there to do, that I don't think is reasonable to do so. Because there are a wide range of things that really do make sense, and you can be fairly confident are within the boundaries of what makes a cabin attendant's job functional and what you can do that. But it's also important to respect their boundaries. First and foremost, never ask them to cover for you breaking cruise line's rules. What I'm talking about? Like, hey, I want to go smoke in my cruise ship balcony or in my cabin somewhere. These are against the rules. You know they're against the rules, and certainly don't put the cabin attendant in a position where they're becoming an accessory to your, breaking the rules, or simply, they're trying to be like, well, I'm not supposed to do this, and they're having an awkward situation with you. Also, they're very busy people, so I would never make them do something that would really go beyond the scope of like leaving their post to go check on something. Many issues are for guest services, so if it's not a cabin problem, I'll seek assistance elsewhere. And lastly, cabin attendants are some of the hardest working crew members on board, and you should treat them with respect. Don't make demands or act in a way that's really disrespectful or inconsiderate of what they're doing. They are there to make your cruise better, but they're not your servants, they're not your butlers. So, be respectful of what they're doing. And obviously, if there's issues or concerns you have, you can bring it to the right people. You can certainly go to guest services with any major issues you might have. But, if there's a problem within your cabin, yeah, the cabin attendant is actually the first person to go to. But beyond that, I think that's really the limit right there. All right, so there you have it. 4 easy things that I ask my cabin attendant for every single cruise, and one that I'll never do. Let me know in the comments below. Do you agree with all 4? Is there one that I missed? Like, what is something critical? Not like once every 3 cruises, like every single cruise must do. I'd love to read your comments down there below. While you're below our video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. That way YouTube lets you know of a brand new video to share. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.